Hi. So thank you for coming down and sharing your story. Can we have you start by saying what's your name?
My name is Rosa. Yeah, I go to Hall Sciences High.
Oh, and how? What are you studying for?
Oh, it's a school for like health. Like it has college classes and stuff.
So you wanna like major or you wanna study like
Like
in
in
health?
medicine, yeah.
Oh, like what? Like just like medicine, like.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So as you know, we are trying to record for mental health awareness, which is going to be May 8th.
hmm
So if we can have you start, kind of sharing your story in or around mental health, if you would, please.
Okay, so it started when I was when I was like around fifth grade. My mom told me that my dad had passed away, and I was all upset and stuff. But I was young, didn't really, I guess, count. And actually, like this past summer, me and my mom, we were walking back home from church, and we saw one of my dad's old friend, which was funny because he was talking on the phone with my dad, and I was like, yeah, that was kind of like my face, like the face you
Yeah,
have
like
right now.
yeah.
And I was really, really upset, and this was like around September, and I was really upset. I did not go to school for anything. I never told my mom why. I kind of just made it up. I don't know. I'm just kind of like the person to hide it.
Hmm.
I never told her why. And yeah, I was really upset. I didn't go to school for like almost 1 or 2 months. I was just really like, I guess you want to call it depression.
Yeah, depressed. So then, was this depression like long term or was it just like short term?
I feel like it was
Like I guess what I'm trying to say is like not to be rude, but like did it like impact you like now like with your everyday life, or was it just like a period like maybe like a year or
I feel like
you
it was
know?
a period of time where it was kind of like the period of time that I didn't go to school, it was kind of like the sad part. And after that, I was kind of like grew out of it, and it was just kind of like the mad part of it. Like
Kind of like getting like now you were depressed, now you're upset.
now I was just like mad at everything. I was kind of like people noticed. I was just grumpy. Like
Yeah.
people noticed.
Yeah, so then did you ever feel like labeled or categorized for being depressed or
Um, the first time I was like, I guess labeled was my principal. She was telling me like, oh, I think you have depression and stuff, and um she was like telling me to go to like somebody and stuff, but I just kind of, I don't know why, I just didn't like the idea of it. And my mom, they told my mom to like to take me,
mhm
but my mom, I don't know what, but she's like, oh no, I don't want that. Like she didn't want to get help for me,
mhm
which was kind of like, why not? You're like the problem. You've never told me, because we got in a fight. Me and my mom got in a fight, and she told me that all these years she's known that my dad was alive. She just hid it from me, and that's when I was like mad.
yeah, so it
Yeah.
was kind of like something that was her fault.
Mhm.
Okay. And well, I guess you already told us when was the first time you faced someone
Mhm.
labeling you, which was your principal. Um, and how did you feel about it? Like when your principal told you that you're depressed.
I was kind of like, well, to me it was like I've never thought I would have depression, because I was so outgoing and so happy and just friendly.
I mean, and I've known you since I started working here just a
Mhm.
couple months, and you seem very outgoing to me. You're always like laughing and stuff. So,
Yeah.
it's always kind of like it throws you off because like people like know you as being goofy, being funny,
Mhm.
and then being like depressed. It's like I
They
mean,
kind of never thought about it.
yeah,
Like,
because it's like to you. I mean, one like us, like we feel like it's nothing different, but other people they
mhm.
have to always say something like, "Oh, you're depressed," and you're like,
Oh, you need help. Especially, I hate it
"Yeah,
when they say you need
you
help.
need
It's
help."
kind of like,
Yeah,
what?
it's
I don't
like,
know.
no, you need help. Did you ever try like to fit the normal, sort of say?
Oh, I've tried to. If you're like what you're trying to say, I've kind of hid it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I tried to
Put like a face.
yeah, to put a
Yeah.
face like nothing's going on, but I
Yeah, like
totally
nothing's going
failed.
on.
It kind of like failed and just came back like stronger, like really bad.
You know, they always say that the harder that you try to hide something, it comes back.
Yeah, I can definitely agree
You
with that. It came
know?
back worse.
Yeah, I mean, my experience has been like sort of the same thing, you know, being gay and everything. You know, how I always try to hide it, like,
Mhm.
oh no, I'm straight, like I'm not. And then like it will hit me like harder, like within like the weeks, and I was like, oh no, I just, you know, it's like living a lie when you definitely know what you are, but you know, you have to like mask it for other people. Um, so um, this is a very personal question, and you don't have to answer it.
Mhm.
But did you ever try to harm yourself? If so, why and how, and what made you rethink it, like not doing it, like you know?
No, I've never tried to, but I was kind of like I just had some kind of like resentment towards my dad and my mom. Just kind of like why?
Mm-hmm.
Just the big question why?
Yeah, and it's always, you know, the question is like,
Mhm.
why the lies, and you know, instead of saying, oh, he walked away, which is something that I always hear. Oh, my father walked away when I was 4, when I was 6. And did you ever find out the why, or you still don't even know?
Um, I don't, and my mom never spoke about it.
So she still to this day she
Yeah,
hasn't.
she's never told me anything.
Have you ever asked her, or you just
No, I've
dropped
asked
it?
her. What she does is change the conversation. That's what she does.
Also, she just changes the
Yeah,
subject, like,
she does.
hey, oh, um,
And she's like, when I ask her, she's always like, "Oh, you're too little." Blah blah blah. I'm
to
like, Mom, it's
understand.
gonna hurt me even more when I grow up.
Yeah, because if you don't cope with something and you just like keep on like putting a band-aid over it,
Mhm.
the scar is gonna get bigger and worse as you get
Yeah.
older. You know, it's something that I always tell like everybody that I work for, even foster kids, LGBT, anybody, is that if you have something and you try to like mask it and cover it, it's only gonna haunt you when you get older
Mhm.
because you never cope with it. It's just sitting there. And I know this because I lived through it.
Mhm.
And you know, before you know, I started my transition. I told myself I can't start my transition from male to female until I fix everything that's going on with me,
Mhm.
because starting the transition is a big process, and a lot of people just think that, oh no, you just get the surgery or you do this and that, which is like, no, you have to know that you're ready for it because it's a big sacrifice to do. And did you seek for help? If so, how?
Well, at the time I was in some rehab for like smoking pot. That's kind of why. Like I kind of just fell into smoking pot afterwards,
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of like told my mom I smoked, and she took me to the rehab, and there I would talk to the counselors about things, and yeah, they would just tell me like, oh, try to ask your mom, and like seek for answers and whatever, and I would just tell him, she's gonna change the subject. She's not
Mm-hmm.
gonna tell me.
Mm-hmm.
I've tried it before.
Yeah, like she always.
Mhm.
But it seems that in some way or somehow your mom has been there for you, like
Mhm.
somewhat. Maybe not to the extent or the level that you want, but it kind of seems like
Mhm.
somewhat like whenever she wants. Um, and if you did face stigma, how did you cope with it?
Stigma. Mm, no, I wouldn't. No, I don't think I face stigma.
You
No.
didn't know. Okay. Did you ever feel like neglected? Neglected?
Mm. Well, by my dad. Yeah, I just feel
Oh.
like why you left, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Just okay. Um, did you ever try to be more social to let society know that you are no different from them?
Well, like I said, yeah, I've tried to like mask it and stuff. um, yeah, I guess.
I mean, in society, it always seems that you always have to fit in.
Mm.
You have
Mhm.
to be the norm. Like, oh, you have like the jocks over there. You know what I mean, right? Like, you
Mhm.
have to fit in. Like, if you stand out, it's a big. Oh
Yeah,
no.
I know, like popular, but and no, it
Yeah.
wasn't like that. It was just kind of like, oh Rosa, she's always like happy and stuff, and then I didn't want like a dramatic change, like oh now she's so mean, she's so
Yeah.
upset.
Yeah.
I just kind of didn't want that around people, because usually when there's like a moody person around happy people, you'll change their mood. I just didn't want to affect others.
Yeah. Like you don't want to like be
Mhm.
like like letting other people down and stuff as
Just
well.
because of my stuff.
Yeah.
Just yeah.
So if you can say if somebody was to listen to this recording
Mhm.
that was in the same situation, what would you want to say to them?
I would just like tell them like answers will come out sooner or later. I mean, like they'll find out. So it's just patience, a lot of patience.
And it seems like patience, it's like, I know for me, I don't have patience. I'm not gonna
Oh.
lie. But it's true though, like, some answers are not meant to be answered.
Mhm.
It'll take a year or 2 years. It just depends. And that's just how it is. Life is complicated.
Mhm.
And things happen for a reason. I always believe in that. Things happen
Yeah,
for a
things.
reason.
Yeah,
I
totally.
don't question why. I say, okay, I'll figure it
I
out.
question why a lot.
See,
That's the thing. I'm always like, why this, why that.
me, it's like I say, okay.